Hey everybody, this is Kevin and welcome to an all-new series on my channel. That's right, another hobby. If you can believe it, I have ventured into the world of Lego, and I did it somewhat on purpose, yet somewhat on accident. This last Christmas, my son, out of the blue, purchased a Lego kit for me, and I kind of been thinking about it behind the scenes, but I don't remember saying anything, so it's like he intuitively knew that I wanted to build a Lego set. So for Christmas, he went out and he bought me the infamous Lego Concorde kit. Now, had it been up to me to go buy one on my own, I probably wouldn't have started with this one because this is pretty involved. It's got, let's see, 2,083 pieces. I probably would have preferred starting with a 10-piece little car. Because that's all I remember building as a kid. But in the modern era, this is what Lego is, and I admit I could not be more excited. This is a monster of a box. It's going to be a monster of an airplane when it's done. For the sake of filming, I'm not going to film the building of each stage. What I'll do is I'll build a stage, and then I will film post-build and show you updates throughout as we go along, and show you how things look and how things work, because there are a lot of articulating features in this model. I cannot wait. I'm excited. So without any further ado, let's get the box on the bench, open it up, and start building the Lego Concorde. So here we have the box. Brand new, unopened. I have not done a Lego in probably 30 plus years. But, and what a way to start out, you know. Go big or go home, right? So here we have the Concorde box. It is so large that just trying to fit it all onto the screen is almost impossible. In fact, it is impossible. So let's go ahead and figure out where the seals are. I think, yeah, they're on this side. Okay, challenge 1 is complete. Let's see what it looks like when you, oh my word, there's a lot of bags of parts. I'm just going to start pulling bags out here. Let's take a look at how they're labeled. Okay, so there's bag 3. Okay, that makes sense. Bag 13. Bag 4. Okay, so if they keep them all numbered like this, it should be pretty easy. The problem is I'm seeing a lot of numbers, which means there's a lot of bags. 21. Oh, that's cool. That must be the stand for it. Okay. Number 9. Or is it 6? Nah, that's 9. 15. We're not even halfway through the box yet. 18. 7. I'm hoping that we'll find a manual in here somewhere. That's kind of what I'm hoping my goal is here. There's 2. Okay, we're getting close to the front. 20. 10. 12. Ah! I fell a box. There's a box coming out. A box within a box. Okay, I'm just going to push all this aside. And I need my scissors again. More bags, 14. Aha. Oh, that's cool. That is a thick envelope. Oh. Bonus piece. Nice. Let's just see what else comes out here. More bags, more numbers. Yeah. Okay, that was incredible. Legos have really changed since I've last done them. I'm going to clear the board and we're going to tack this envelope. I think that's a good place to start. Okay, after having cleared off the desk and putting every single bag numerically in order, you can see here in the picture, all 21 bags, assuming there's supposed to be 21 bags, are accounted for. I was able to get 1 through 21. So that was a victory. All right, so now let's see what this envelope's all about. I assume it's going to be our manual. And this thing is a manual. Like, it's not a little instruction book. This has got some serious weight to it. Oh, this is like a catalog. Look at this thing. Wow, I don't think there's anything else in here. Look at this. Oh my word. Let's see. Seeing if it talks about how... Okay, so bag 1. Okay, so at least it tells you, what bag. And then, how do you know when to go to the next bag? Bag 2. Okay, so that makes sense. Well, I'm going to attack this. And I'll show a little snippet at the end of each bag. Because it would drive everybody crazy if I tried to do this whole kit on video. So, like I said, I'll just complete each stage and then we'll do a quick check-in. Okay, bag 1. Here we go. Just going to cut it open, dump it out, and we got some little bag. Let me just cut this open partially. That way we can get to them. All right, let's turn this into something. There we go. Bag 1 is complete. It went together very easily, actually. Instructions were very clear and understandable. Not quite sure what we're working on. I don't know if this is a spar or what, but it does have some strength in this motion here. But in total, that took me 12 minutes to put together. Considering it's my first Lego project in, like I said, probably 35 years. That was a lot of fun. Even if this was all I did, just pushing the pieces together, following the manual was a lot of fun. So that wraps up bag number 1. Let's set it aside and bring in bag number 2. Oh. Okay, and there's another little bag of the little guys. We'll dump them over here as I did in the last bag. Okay, let's turn this into something. Okay, that was a little more complicated. They suckered you in on the first one, and then number 2, they really give you the low blow. But look at that. Quite the contraption. I'm not quite sure what this is, but if you rotate this, we do get some movement in this joint right here. Not a whole lot though, not a lot of travel, so I'm not quite sure what this is for. The gears aren't really moving, so they may not supposed to move. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I did everything to plan. So that was fun, but a little more complicated, and that took a little longer. That took 17 minutes, so 5 more minutes longer than step 1. But now we're going to add to it, and we're going to bring in bag number 3. So we'll set this aside. I gotta admit, this is a lot of fun. I'm loving every second of this process. Okay. And by the way, we are ending up with a few extra parts. These out of stages 1 and 2, these are the extra parts we've got so far. So we'll just hold on to those because you never know when you might need them. Okay, make a pile of the big stuff and a pile of the little stuff. Okay, now let's add all this to that and see what we get. Well, there you go. That was incredible. I cannot tell you how much fun I'm having with this kit. I really, truly am. And some of my fears were actually alleviated in stage number 3, and I'll show you that in a second. This took equal amount of time to stage 2. It was exactly 17 minutes. But I did have one piece left over, which is fine. I like that they give you extras. But I had to remove a piece. And this is the one part that was really messing with my mind back in stage 2, was trying to figure out how those gears worked with this in place, because this was locking things up. This was just a nuisance. And then suddenly the instructions say to pull it out. And I did, and look what we got now. Now, I'm not sure if this is for landing gear or I'm not sure what, but watch these two blue arms when I rotate these gears. They open and close. And with that orange piece in the way, it was locking things up. I guess they had you put it there to help hold in position while you worked on other things, but I'm so pleased to see that everything is working and going together nicely. And we've got some pretty cool, this, I'm guessing, yeah, this has got to be the wing. And I'm guessing landing gear. I can't say for certain, but what I can say for certain is that it's time for bag 4. So let's get right into it. I just cannot get enough of this. We'll set the kit up out of the way. Get our parts out. There's one piece left in there. Get out. Okay. Here's our little guys. We'll open this bag as well. Try not to let them roll off too far. Okay, so let's figure out a way to add these parts to that part. Okay, another intense one, but I'll tell you, very gratifying. Real quick, 2 pieces left over. Not bad. Of course, they're all little. They always leave some extra little guys for you. But what I've determined is we do in fact have landing gear. These pivot points and joints were just constructed, and when you turn this little dial here, oh, okay, it's starting to close. Let me see if I can open it. There they go. It's really hard to turn this at this angle, but you can see the landing gear starting to open up and then retract, open and retract. And let me close it again. Again, it'll be a lot easier when we get the right tools and parts to twist these, but there we go. It's little by little. Almost there. Almost there. Got it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Excellent engineering. Kudos to LEGO and their designers for designing such complex yet pretty easy to build contraption. So it works. That is so cool. So that was actually the longest stage so far. That was 22 minutes and a lot of fiddly little pieces trying to make sense of everything, but well worth it in the end. So, well, what do you do when you've got 4 stages done? Well, you reach over here and you grab bag number 5. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Rip into it here. Okay, let's get the big parts over here. The little parts over here. Hey, get back here. One tried to escape. Okay, now we need to figure out a way, an easy way, to get all this into that. Voila! So now we have added an additional pretty significant structure to the top. This beam right here has been added. We're definitely building upon our wing section here, and we enclosed our landing gear assembly. So that's coming along nicely. This kit is an absolute joy to build. I cannot tell you how much fun I'm having building this kit. So without any further ado, I can't wait to get on to step 6. So what do we do about that? We bring in step 6. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. And by the way, that stage, stage 5, took another 22 minutes. So it's very interesting how we're, you know, kind of keeping the same time frame for all these stages. We've had several 17-minute stages. We've had a few 22-minute stages. Be interesting to see what stage 6 does. All right, let's do some magic here. Let's turn all this into that. Okay, stage 6 seemed a little monotonous in that there's just more of the same, but we did create a whole new upper panel here. We enclosed some more interior stuff with these flat panels. See if you can see this side. We added some color, which is always kind of cool. This thing is getting hefty, I tell you. It's getting some weight to it, and we're not even a third of the way through. So that's quite impressive. But we're going to now move on to bag 7, which has what looks like some fuselage pieces. So I'm excited to see what this turns into. We might start forming a body out of this wing. So let's go ahead and get this cut open. Let me stand this up and out of the way. I believe these supports come off in this stage as well. Oh, and by the way, that last segment was the quickest by far at only 10 minutes. Now, I don't know if it's just me getting better or that was just you know, I'm going to say not, because even at the beginning of this stage, I said that number 6 was pretty monotonous. So it kind of seemed like the same old, same old. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It just in that sense, I mean, I kind of knew what I was doing because I'd done it already so many times in previous stages. So, I think we're getting better, but I think the stages kind of gave us a break, is what I'm trying to say. So, wow, that's pretty cool. Look at these. These are pretty big sections here. Got a gear, so we're going to be doing some more mechanical work, I hope. That'll be fun. All right, well, let's turn all this into something on that. There you have it. This thing is really starting to look like an airplane. I was right on the guesstimate. That was a fuselage part that we were building. And you can see the fuse sides are now coming together. But what's also cool is that the fuselage here encases, or I should say houses, some of the work for the retractable landing gear. And let me show you this. This is pretty cool. As I twist this knob, watch the gear. This ain't the same Legos that I built as a kid. A lot has changed. You can see the gearing turning back inside there. But tell me that's not cool. So this is really taken shape. I'm excited to continue. I have no idea what's in store for us in stage 8. But let's set this aside and bring in 8 to find out. By the way, that was also a pretty quick section, although I know I kind of sped through it. That was only a 12-minute segment, so that went pretty quick. But again, I'm going to reiterate how much fun I'm having. This is definitely my first Lego set to conquer, but it's not my last. That I can promise you. And we're not quite halfway through, but I do want to give it another shout out to my son David, who got this for me for Christmas. And he was a little unsure of what I might think of Legos, and but I knew I wanted to do it because it's not, you know, it used to be just a kid's toy. Now it's a kid's and adult's toy, and I was anxious to get back into it. So let's see what stage 8 holds in store for us. So let's all add up all these parts and create this. And once again, a thrilling stage. Stage 8 was a lot of fun. This thing is just getting massive. At some point, I'm going to have to reconfigure my bench setup. But I will tell you, the use of the orange supports that they give you really is ingenious. I do have a couple supports that I had to install here while I laid it down, while I pressed in some overhead parts. We increased the length of our knob as I pop a piece off. Just want to show you that it's not glued. Anyway, coming along beautifully. This thing, and it's heavy too. I tell you, there's some weight to this thing, but so far so good. Everything is lining up and right where it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be there. So that leads us right into. So that's why these supports are good. But I had to take it off because right now we're in the horizontal position. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get up to bag 9. Now there's a lot of parts in here, including some more orange. So I see some more supports coming up in this stage. There are a lot of parts. This is one of the bigger bags I think we've had. So it may take a little longer, but hey, the longer the better. I'm having a blast. So let's get the little parts bag opened up as well. Oh, and I forgot, this was one extra piece that was left over. I'm actually, I probably come up with something to do with all those extra pieces at the end of the build. But without any further ado, let's turn this into something productive. And there's bag number 9. Now, I initially thought that all these parts from bag 9 were going to attach to our main panel, but this was actually set aside for the time being. We never even touched it. It's all brand new. This is all bag number 9 right here. So that's why there were so many parts in the bag. I do appreciate again how they give you some orange supports, because a lot of the times this was down like this and we were pressing down into it to install these parts here, and that's what gave the whole unit some support. I will tell you, we got some more mechanics going on here. We got a little drive shaft. You can see this turns here and the drive shaft goes up through there. Something's going to come out of here eventually, I'm assuming, and but don't know what yet. This is intriguing. This looks more narrow, so I'm guessing this is part of the nose. That might be part of the nose gear, and or I think the nose cone actually retracts up and down. I'm not 100% certain of that, but possibly the nose gear, not sure. But anyway, number 9 was pretty involved. It only took us about 17 minutes, but that's just because I'm working rather quickly, because I'm over enjoying myself here. But let's set number 9 aside, and let's bring in bag 10. So we got bag 10. Oh, I see like a corkscrew there for the mechanics. And some of you may have noticed, but bag 9 actually had 2 of these little bags. I didn't see it till after I started working, but I'm like, oh, there's a second little bag to cut open. So I did that. And I used every single part out of those, out of bag 9. No extra parts left over. Get back here, little red guy. Okay. All right, let's, I'm guessing we're going to add to it, so let's do something with all of these parts and produce this. Okay, this thing just gets cooler and cooler. So stage 10 is complete. These were some extra parts. Not a big deal. Add that to my collection of leftovers. This is one of the cooler things I've ever seen. We did build upon our previous stage. We extended our drive shaft, and you can see it does travel all the way through underneath to the screw, and underneath is the nose gear. Now, I just got to show this off to you. This is going to blow you away. Watch this, folks. I'm just going to screw this little handle here. I'll do it from the side. Look at that. Retractable nose gear. Okay, and we'll look in from the top. You'll see the screw doing its job. Absolutely amazing. Incredible ingenuity in this design. So that takes care of stage 10. Let's take a look at stage 11. Oh, we got some long pieces here. Okay, and one little bag. All right, let's turn this into something. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, as you can see, stage 11 was pretty monumental. A lot of those pieces that were in the bag are what connected the front portion to the rear portion. So now we've got one full unit here, and this thing is just ginormous. I can't hardly fit it all onto the screen. But point being is, and I think from here on out it's going to be tricky, but stage 11 was taking two large portions and connecting them with a lot of these center structures. I believe the joint was made somewhere, yeah, somewhere around in here, if I'm not mistaken, and it may have been right here actually. And so the two parts joined up, and then we just attached a bunch of center beams across the top, giving it strength. So like I can hold it at the back, and it's fully supported. So it's pretty strong, and it's getting heavy too. But so now we're going to add to this. I believe we're going to start adding more to the center fuselage area. So with that, we're going to need to set this aside the best I can and bring in bag 12. So here's bag 12. Let's get this opened up. Okay, and let's see, one little bag of parts right here. Or I should say, instead of one little bag, it's one bag of little parts. Word order means a lot. Okay, so there we have it. So I think we're going to be making the, we're going to kind of be encapsulating this whole area here with more fuselage parts. But let's see how it all works out. So with that, let's turn this into that. Okay, and here is the result of stage 12. And I'm deliberately showing you the bottom side first because the top side's pretty interesting. But we did conceal a lot of the inner working parts with these curved pieces here. We did some more covering of the gearing and the, I guess the gearbox you'd call it, I guess. But what's really interesting, and this is where the fine detail comes into play, look at what we did on the top. We've got two bathrooms and some row of seating. It's amazing how you can make little toilets out of Lego parts. And then it looks like some little cabinet bins there in the middle. But yeah, now that's all going to be concealed with some center portions, but they're going to be removable. So you can obviously view and see the inner workings. So anyway, pretty interesting. The seats actually they kind of retract and fold down. Very interesting design. So the inner workings there of some fine detail work. But unfortunately, I'm afraid that we're going to have to cover some of this up. Now again, these parts I'm sure are going to be removable, so you can show off the inner parts, but at least it's going to cover it up for now. And with that, we jump right into bag 13, and I know we're going to cover it up because we've got some more fuselage parts there. So that was kind of the giveaway on that one. So let's scoot the airplane up a little bit Again, we're running out of space here. It's getting harder and harder to squeeze everything in. But let's go ahead and get bag 13 to open up and get to working on it. Okay, and there's our little bag of goodies. Guys like to roll away. Okay, so we got some rubber tires. Oh, we're getting close, I think, to landing gear time. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna start working on this and see what it turns into. So let's turn this into that. Okay, some huge updates on stage 13. Number one is you can see the entire top of the fuselage is now encapsulated, and but it is removable, and I like how they did this. Between these two sections here, if you gently wiggle the parts, they kind of snap off, and you've got the interior. There you go. So you can see the seats, the lavatories, and the cabinets, and then this just simply snaps right back into place. All right, but on the underside, we've got the landing gear installed, and pretty cool is when you rotate this disc here, or this stick, the landing gear extends, and that's same goes for the nose gear as well. So I'll go ahead and retract everything in, and you can see how everything fits right into place beautifully. So kit's coming along nicely, but we're not done yet. So I'm going to set this aside and bring in bag 14. So let's get this opened up and see what all we've got in here. I'm not sure if this is going to be tail cone parts or what. I do see the cylindrical, these two cylindricals. I think this might be part of the engine. Maybe actually part of the twisting action on the back. I'm not sure. I shouldn't speculate or assume, but it's kind of fun to guess. Let's get the little baggie open up as well. Get these guys out and ready. And let's get these parts put on. You know the drill. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that takes care of number 14, and I'll tell you, I'm a little surprised because it's not what I thought we'd be working on. The entire stage was, well, pretty much nothing to do with the airframe itself. It was just the engine pod here, and then the last step was actually attaching it to the underside of the left wing. But this engine pod's pretty cool. Let me angle the plane so you can see better. So it's got two air scoops, little inlets here at the front end. But what's really cool, and I didn't expect this, was at the tail end of the nozzles, you've got some hot flaming orange color there. So pretty cool little detail work there on that engine, or engines I should say. And looking at number 15, let me slide this out of the way. We've got our next stage to work on, stage 15. And I see a lot of the same pieces. So I suspect that we're going to be duplicating, just in opposite orientation, the other engine pod. This thing is so monstrous. Okay, so we'll slide those bits out of the way. Get the little baggie going here. Alrighty. Alright, so I assume that when we're done, we're going to have another engine pod. So let's do it right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that wraps up stage 15. And as predicted, we exactly duplicated the left side. Now it's the right side. So you can see these engines right in here. This is the new pod. Pretty much mirrored this assembly on this side to this side. And the two are equal. And it's looking really good. Now this time, and I forgot to mention, the last stage took 22 minutes. After having done it once and knowing a little bit more what to do, this stage here took 18 minutes. So A little bit quicker, 4 minutes quicker after having known what to do. All right, so let's move on now to bag 16. And I think 16's, well, I don't know what 16 is, to be honest with you. I just see a bunch of pieces, so I'm not sure what this is going to turn into. But we will soon find out. Okay. And see, well, there's something with gearing, so what could that be on? I just don't know. Some interesting looking parts. Let's get the little bag open. And let's jump right into it. Let's turn this into something that looks kind of like that. Okay, so that wraps up stage 16, and we didn't even touch the main airframe, so I've set it aside completely. We are now working on solely on the nose cone, the front cockpit area, and I'm not sure how it's going to work, but to my knowledge, it's an articulated canopy, so it should be able to tilt down like the Concorde did. There's something in here with gears. Gonna get some rotation maybe of some sort. I just don't know yet. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. But I think we're going to be adding to it in stage 17. So let's break out bag 17 here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that definitely looks like more of a nose cone, maybe. There's a gear of sorts. Very interesting. Oh, cool. Look at that. That's pretty sharp. Are there two of them? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's get the little bag cut. And emptied out. Alrighty. Let's add to it. Let's turn all this into that. And there you have stage 17. A lot of the work that I did is masked over because we ended up covering it all up. But we did complete the front nose section. We added the included windscreen, and let me see if I can turn this. Now it's all plugged into the airframe. But from the side view, it is articulating in that we're able to articulate the nose down. And additionally, this portion here, so if I can do it, will actually sweep upward and aim more downward, if that makes sense. So kind of a 2-in-1 articulation there. So we'll push this back into position and fold the nose back up. Again, a lot of the work is concealed because we ended up having to cover it up with the panels, but there you have it. We're getting this thing is just growing by leaps and bounds here. I can't even, well, it's not even worth showing a flyby because we still have the tail yet to do and some minor details, but it is really coming along and gaining a lot of weight too. So now we're up to stage 18. Now I really have no idea what 18 has in store for us. Looking at the parts here and the pieces, I can't even guess what it's going to be. But we will soon find out once we empty the bags. Get every last little bit out and then find the smaller bag. Let's see, if I scoot that. This jet is taking up my entire workbench. Okay, let's cut the little bag open, empty it out. Okay. A lot of little pieces in this one, nothing big and major, just a lot of little stuff. So, but we are going to have some articulating things. It looks like we do have some swivels or adaptions at some point here. So anyway, I'm going to do some magic and turn all this into that. And there you have it. There is stage 19 complete. I'm sorry, 18 complete. And this is embarrassing. I can't for the life of me figure out what this is. There is a drive shaft running through the center. You can see how it operates there. It has a little bit of a dog leg in it, which assists in this twisting at angles. And I'm assuming at some point I'm going to run something through this red tube into the black tube, but I didn't have anything yet. And then once I got all that drive shaft and drivetrain in there, then basically I had to cover it all up. There is some hinge holes there, it looks like, so we're going to have to pin something through there, but I honestly don't know what this is for. I'm embarrassed to say I just don't know. But maybe 19 will add to it and give us some more insight. So let's go ahead and get 19 open. Looks like another nose cone, which is interesting because we've already done the nose cone, so maybe this is the tail cone. Very well could be. Nice thing, and I'm not complaining too much, but the nice thing is I was able to put the airframe to the side because that thing is just humongous and it's out of the way. So don't have to worry about it for the time being. We got two little bags, it looks like. So we'll get these opened up and poured out. Oh my goodness, look at all these curved panel pieces. My goodness, wow. Okay, well, gonna have to do it eventually, so might as well do it in this stage. So we'll set up 3 piles actually. Okay, so I'm guessing we're gonna add to this. So let's take all this, and with a little bit of TV magic and a little abracadabra, we can turn all this into that. And that is stage 19. And that, folks, was a 30-minute stage. That was intense. There was a little bit of a hiccup, and that's why there was probably a 5 or 6 minute delay. So in reality, it probably should have only been 23 or 24 minutes. But in the process of putting this tail cone on, I popped the bottom part off, and then when I popped the bottom part off, let me try to rotate this and show you. When this panel right here popped off, and when I popped it back on, I accidentally popped it on one Lego too far toward the back. See if I can get this in camera. And then what that prevented me from doing was being able to, my goodness, there's no room. All right, I'm gonna have to rotate this. There. Okay, there was no room for the tail cone to snap on. It was sticking out too far aft. But once I realized my dilemma and got this back up in the proper position, the tail cone fits. Now this tail cone is what now rotates and is what will retract the landing gear. So let me do a little demonstration here. I'm just going to twist the nose cone. Okay, you see me twisting it, and as I twist, you see the landing gear extend, and the nose gear is doing the same thing. Okay, and then when I turn it the other way, the gear retracts. You gotta sometimes make sure the nose gear is straight, and then also the mains lock into place as well. So there's also a little tail wheel that can be retracted to keep the tail from scraping on takeoff and landing. So this little unit here was quite the contraption, but it works, everything's good. So now we are going to set this. Let me try to roll it back over and set it down and get out bag number 20. Now I know 20 is going to be more or less our vertical fin, because the last step is the display stand. So the airplane needs to be finished in this stage. So let's go ahead and get 20 open. Empty it. And as you can see, it does have some nice Concorde labeled Lego blocks. There's 2 little bags. Let me scoot all this up there. We'll get these bags opened up. There we go. So now this needs to turn into a vertical fin that's going to fit right there. So abracadabra, And there you have it. That's the completion of stage 20. And actually, that is the completion of the Concorde jet. Stage 21 is simply building the display stand. So technically, we are complete with the airplane. I'm going to try to show you what I just did. You can see here on the trailing edge of the wing, I've got the ailerons, elevons, flaps, maybe combination of elevons. I'm not sure exactly what configuration the aircraft flew in, but those are the flight control surfaces. And then if you look at, let me see if and these are movable, by the way. They all have hinges on them, so you can move them and display with them. But also the vertical fin, along with moving rudders. There's an upper rudder and a lower rudder, and they move pretty, oh my gosh, is that 90, almost 90 degrees practically. So a lot of movement there. As I showed you, we do have movement, the landing gear with our cone. And that is it. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to show this whole thing on camera is once I complete the stand, which is right here in step 21, I will put the airplane on display and take photographs of it. And I will show the photographs at the end of the video showing its completion. So with that, let's go ahead and get into 21. I'm actually going to move the airplane completely out of the way because I don't need it to build the display stand just yet. So we'll go ahead and get this opened up. Yeah, this is going to be gorgeous. Be able to show off the, here, I'll let you see that. Very nice display. Okay, we've got brown and gray, it looks like, and we've got a little bag here. We'll get it open and pour it out. And there you have it. So let's turn this into a stand. 1, 2, 3. And there you have the completion of the display stand. That was stage 21. It is complete, and it is one beefy little stand, I tell you. As I was building it, I was wondering if it was going to be strong enough to hold up the airplane, but this thing is rock solid, very stable. It's got a good square mount that's going to fit up into the bottom of the fuselage. Again, beautiful placard talking all about the airplane. So that pretty much sums up the kit. Again, that was the last stage in the build. It is all done. I'm going to now take this out, set it up in the hallway where there's room, set this under the plane, and I'm going to take some good photographs, and I will show you those to you next. So that concludes this video and the debut of my Lego building series, which I guess is going to be a new thing. I'm really enjoying it. That was a lot of fun. And I want to thank my son David once again for getting me into it. He purchased this kit for me. He assumed I would like it, and he assumed correctly. I absolutely love it. So with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless, and we will see you in the next video. AC 5474.